And possibly streaming right now? No. Yeah, okay. We're getting underway here, maybe. Okay. I think everybody can hear us. Please go ahead and join the chat there and tell us if you're hearing us at all, because we have no idea. It says we're live, so we'll try our best here. Yep, there we are. Okay, hi everybody, and welcome to the post F This Movie Fest show. I can't think. We just watched 6 movies, and I'm trying to figure out how all this works, so I'm glad that the stream is working this year. Last year we tried YouTube Live. It did not work. Hi, my name's Patrick Bromley. This is the F This Movie Fest 2019 show. I am joined for this very special episode by my wife, Erica Bromley.
Hi.
JB.
Howdy do.
Jan B.
Hello.
For the first time ever live here in the studio, Mr. Eric Asperschlager.
It's great to be here.
Mark On.
How's it going?
Woo.
Our very good friend Josh Suko,
Woo.
who hung out all day. Adam Risky.
Hi.
And once again, returning from Philadelphia, Philly Rob DiCristino.
John, what's up, John?
We just finished up 6 movies from 1986. It was a long day, but we were all just commenting that 6 movies didn't feel all that different from 5.
No, not at all.
I can't promise that you should all get used to 6 movies, because I can't promise that we'll do 6 movies every single year. This year it was because it was kind of a Sophie's Choice situation where I knew everybody would want Labyrinth, I wanted Invaders from Mars, and I decided to make everyone and me happy. So we went with 6 movies. Thank you for pulling the hair off of my face.
No problem.
Next year, half
It's
of
very
one.
long and blonde.
Oh, not bad.
A whole different
For the whole
approach.
day? Just
Half of a movie.
Okay.
Oh.
In the year? 2020.
1929.
Wow. This is going
That
to be
important epic when we were converting to sound.
Dibs on Sunrise.
A real quick shout out to everyone at F This Movie, because this last week we were celebrating 1986 week, and there was so much amazing content that we were posting like 3-4 articles a day. So thank all of you for writing all that amazing stuff. We're trying to figure out right now if we're still streaming. I regret everything right now.
You don't think we are?
No regrets.
Anyway, maybe we are.
Just ask someone.
Yeah, just make sure we know if you guys are hearing us, because this is... Okay, thanks,
Thank
David.
you, David. Thank you, Michelle.
All right, thank you.
Gil.
Our little screen crashed, so it seemed like we weren't streaming anymore. So thank you, everybody, for writing all that great content. All of you in the room, all of you not in the room, thank you. Not here with us right now, Mike Pomero and Adam Thaz, who were here a little while. And so we're sorry that they're not here. Adam had to go rap with a band.
Yeah.
He's
That's
performing
a thing.
live on
That's not
stage
euphemism.
tonight.
He's all like, Informer. Anyway, so let's start. We watched 6 movies. We started off... Good God. What did we start? Thank
We
you.
started with Labyrinth.
Then we watched Big Trouble in Little China. Then we watched Invaders from Mars. Then Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Then Cobra. And we closed things out with Alien. Jesus.
Aliens.
Somebody else want to host?
No.
Aliens. Anyway, so I'm going to start your direction, Rob. What was the highlight for you this year?
The highlight for me this year, probably either Invaders from Mars or Big Trouble in Little China, because...
Talk to me about this Invaders from Mars choice.
Why?
Because that was the one that I was the most worried about.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
You were worried that I wasn't going to play?
Very much so.
Yes. No,
And then
no.
I was worried it was going to be a lot of bashing, and I was like, I don't know if my heart can take it.
You even
No.
posted at one point.
I did. I
We
said,
mentioned
please
it at the door.
don't, please don't say anything mean to this movie.
When you announced the lineup, I looked at it and I was like, okay, this makes sense, like definitely. And I'd seen Invaders from Mars before, so it was not a movie that I was like super familiar with. And I think we were talking, Eric and Adam and I were talking a little bit about some of the movies, and there's always a movie that, like, no matter what year it is, we're kind of like, I don't want to say wishy-washy or ambivalent about, but like, oh, like, we'll watch this one and we'll see if it'll play. And I think for me that it was this year it was probably Big Trouble in Little China because I like that movie, but it's always been a movie that I always felt like I should like more than I did. It's one of those movies.
Okay.
But this year watching it today, we were commenting a lot about this, which is just being able to watch Kurt Russell in this kind of environment. You know, we say every year that there's always movies that just are F this movie fest movies. The various whats and incredulity on Kurt Russell's face and the fact of Burton being so far over his head and all that stuff, which of course I understood. I've seen Big Trouble in Little China before, but with this crowd was the best. And I think just with Invaders from Mars, the enthusiasm that, you know, like, I'm not going to lie, like, I'm in the room with you. I know how important Tobe Hooper is for you. So I'm watching I'm enjoying it, and I know how much it means to you that we're watching it. So there's a little bit of a Bromley bump there. But those two were probably the ones that kind of were the biggest rewards. The Bromley bump, is that?
Yeah, I'm on board. I ship it.
I like the Bromley bump.
Because Erica would like to take this opportunity to announce.
No jokes like that. No. That's not the kind of bumping I was talking. Wait, actually it was. Wait, hold on.
Your mom's not listening.
No, my mom's not listening. Yes.
Erica.
I love your response. Oh no bump like that.
Adam Risky.
I didn't have a standout. Like, everything played
It's
really
all
well.
trash.
No. They all played really well, and I had a good time with all of them. Even the ones where I've been, mixed in some viewings in the past. Like, I everything worked for me today. I had a great time.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Good. Which ones were you mixed on in the past, if I can ask?
In the past, I was mixed on Labyrinth, Big Trouble in Little China, Invaders from Mars, Cobra.
4 of the 6.
Yeah, but all of them played better than they've ever played for me today.
Okay, well, that's something. Josh, this was your first time in the room with us. Yeah. Besides getting to witness the magic of a group of people watching a movie in silence firsthand, what was the highlight for you?
I was telling JB before we got started with Big Trouble in Little China, in like first grade, I was basically just watching Star Wars and Indiana Jones and Big Trouble in Little China on repeat. And I was very surprised when those other 2 movies were held in a much higher esteem by everyone else. I know everyone was like, what is this movie? And so I would, tell my other first grade friends that this was what I was watching.
It's just like Star Wars.
Yeah, it was.
I know you're 7, but give it a chance.
I was like, come on, you guys.
You don't understand. John Carpenter's deconstructing the myth of the American hero.
You like Law? There's a girl named Gracie Law.
So that was cool to watch everyone kind of be able to appreciate the moment.
Why do all these kids have orthodonture?
Who could say?
Speech impediments.
It was the 80s.
It was the 80s.
Yeah. So Big Trouble in Little China?
Yeah, just being able to enjoy it with people
just
and
feeling
not
validated.
being like completely alone in my love for it. That was great.
Yeah. Mark, how about you?
I think I missed Labyrinth, so I wasn't here for that one. But
Dude, don't pull back the
I know, it's
curtain.
cool. It's fine. I'll just pull back my curtain.
Let's reenact it for him. Ready? Okay, so Jennifer Connelly is on a horse.
Rob, you be
check
Jennifer
out
Connelly.
my
She's at a
giant
Target.
penis.
I'm gonna be Hoggle.
Okay.
Theater
Did
of the
someone
mind.
say Hoggle?
It looked like
Walter.
David Bowie's bulge increased once like more food came downstairs. He's like, did Lose arrive yet?
My cock arrived half an hour before I did.
He's Roger Moore.
Yes. Basically.
I think this time around, I missed a lot, guys. I think Cobra played great.
Yeah.
I just felt like on Twitter, there was a lot of people who were kind of like watching it for the first time.
Yeah.
Or like not having seen it in a long time kind of thing. And so a lot of people were reacting to it. I think we all, like Aliens, I think we all expected it to be a really good response. Everybody's seen Aliens. Maybe the other ones are kind of a
Not
little bit more-
everyone.
Yeah.
First time watch over here.
Bromley bump again.
Yep.
But no, Cobra was really, really fun. It was just fun revisiting that one and just seeing everybody else's reactions was a good time. So that'd be my pick.
All right, right on. Eric, how about you?
Well, I'm kind of like Rob. I had not enjoyed...
I like you too, buddy.
Yeah.
Aw.
This is cute.
A, I like Rob. B, I stole my thing. I saw Big Trouble in Little China once before, and I didn't know what to expect when I saw it. I didn't love it. And I expected that when I saw it this time, I was going to have a much better appreciation for it. And I did. I loved it. I thought it was great. And Invaders from Mars, which I'd seen and enjoyed before, I thought played even better in this room. I thought Ferris Bueller's Day Off was a lot of fun, and there was such a kind of a disconnect in some way of what our experience was in the room with a lot of the conversation on Twitter, which I don't know how much we want to get into and discuss, but it seemed like, I don't know. It seemed like there was a lot of, maybe it's just, the atmosphere of making jokes, but I think it's a movie that isn't supposed to make literal sense, and so I don't think it has to. You can decide for yourself.
It was interesting. That was a movie that I programmed like it was a no-brainer.
Yeah.
And that seemed to be one of the more controversial picks.
Sure. I mean, Invaders from Mars played better than Ferris Bueller for some
Yeah.
time. I don't know why.
Yeah. Huh. Jan? Obviously Cobra, because you gave us all this cool Cobra swag.
Well, yeah, you guys are my Cobra.
I wish that was an acronym for something.
I would have to say Invaders from Mars and Aliens, because that's my jam.
Yeah.
But Invaders from Mars, I know I've seen it, but for some reason today it was just like super fun. It just like everything worked for me on it, and it was just really fun. It had such a great 80s vibe. Yeah. So,
J Bones?
Like Eric, I've always been half on board for Big Trouble in Little China, and you said he's deconstructing American masculinity. But what I saw today, especially courtesy of people's tweets, is Carpenter's doing something else, too. Whenever there's a Hollywood movie about minorities, there's always a white character that studios feel we need, even when the movie is about Stephen Biko, no, it's about a white journalist. That Carpenter seems to be making fun of that in a big way because, well, we've got Jack Burton there, and he is so unnecessary and so out of his league and so funny. The reaction on Twitter that he got when the thing comes from the ceiling and knocks him out. Carpenter was so far ahead of his time. And the other thing was, I'm on board for Ferris Bueller. Ferris Bueller is great. But like most John Hughes films, it is full of talking. Talky. And again, courtesy of Twitter, the scene in the Art Institute, suddenly, you almost get kind of what the movie might have been if he had trusted himself more. Because not only do you get an almost complete absence of talk, you get Cameron staring at Sunday on the Island of Grand Jetée, and I think that works and does not hit you over the head as much as Matthew Broderick. You got to slow down, you might miss something. Okay, fuck it. Snot nose.
Played in the room about Ferris Bueller.
That's a 30-year high school teacher speaking.
Yeah.
No. How many times does he say in the movie? 6 times? I got it. You
can't see this, but JB's yelling at Patrick like he made the movie.
Put him down.
I was only an AD on the movie.
I remember when I started teaching, I taught with this guy who sort of became my mentor, and his pet peeve in movies was filmmakers who didn't trust their images, that the images carried it. And then you had all this unnecessary blabbing because, God forbid, someone shouldn't get
Somebody
it.
doesn't understand.
Well, that's every John Hughes movie. I mean,
yeah.
Robin Buckley from F This Movie. Hi, Robin.
Hi, Robin.
Hi, Robin.
Suggested that because Ferris Bueller was sort of the least fantastical of the movies, that maybe that's why it played so differently from the other films.
But I also thought part of it was, I brought this up down in the basement, that the last couple times I taught Catcher in the Rye, I suddenly had a classroom full of students who found Holden nothing but annoying. That he's this whiny little... And I had never encountered that before. And a lot of the Twitter reaction to Ferris was very, very similar. Oh, here's this white privileged kid who's going to,
No, but like I that was the movie I got like oddly defensive of, and like you said, it's a no. We thought it was like kind of a no-brainer, and I knew the reputation of Ferris Bueller's Day Off, where a lot of people think that he's this entitled North Shore jagoff. But the thing is, he's helping his friend. It's like he's shaking his friend out of his comfort zone because his friend is sulking and sinking into a depression spiral. And there's a scene near the end of the movie where Cameron's sitting around the hot tub and he says, "This is the best day of my life." And then Ferris Bueller just smiles. He's not talking. He's like, "Yes, I'm glad that it worked." And that's, for me, the heart of the movie. And I think there's a lot of ephemera maybe around it that you don't love, but I think at the core, if it's a sweet movie. And characters can be many things. They don't have to be all perfect.
No, I agree.
I'm not directly talking to you.
I agree.
I like that.
I agree that that's what's happening on a narrative level.
Yeah.
Watching it today, I thought Broderick's performance is very self-congratulatory.
You could say that about Stallone and...
way more so in Cobra. Oh my god!
Well, half the time I can't figure out what Stallone is saying.
Lots of
So
Stallone.
I could basically see his dick doing arm curls.
There's also just real quick, because I was in the same boat as Adam, because I was giving Ferris shit as much as anybody all throughout while we were watching it. But there is that, like we were talking, Patrick, about this principle of you're live tweeting a movie while you're watching it, which means that the process of watching the movie, characters change. They go through experiences. The way you feel about them changes and stuff. And a couple of people were sort of talking, like, kind of getting defensive of all the hate that Ferris was getting. And I was thinking, like, it was around the scene in the garage with Cameron where he's like, "I'm going to face this" and all that. And, he talks about that. And we think to ourselves, that's the part of the movie where Ferris starts to endear himself to the audience because we see what he is helping his friend. And it's like, I think Patrick said it was like, because characters grow and change while you're watching a movie. Usually you're not live tweeting a movie. Every thought you have becomes text. And then at the end, usually at the end of the movie, that's when you reflect and think about it.
Could part of the Twitter phenomenon today been, and I don't know, could a lot of people who joined us today have never seen it?
It's possible.
Possible.
It sounded like a lot of people had seen it, but not for a long time. And so coming back to it, they were like, "Oh, I never realized what an asshole Ferris Bueller is."
And there's that that I always call it the Kevin Smith principle, where it's like there's that self-hate of your younger self thing, where it's like, "Oh, this is so obnoxious, I can't believe I like this," but you'll come back around on it, which I think we all come back around to Ferris at the end of the movie, which is what I think we're supposed to do.
Even as a kid, though, I saw it the way that Adam just described it, even as a very young kid. And then, of course, it just became like that, Chicago movie nostalgia, like it was on all the time, But even as a kid, I just kind of got that. So, I don't know. Is it my turn to talk officially?
It's your turn to talk officially.
So Labyrinth and Ferris Bueller's Day Off, where I was overly familiar with both of those and then not as familiar with the other ones. And I liked them all. I mean, I love them all, actually. It was super fun. Very happy to see Kurt Russell for that amount of time, anytime. And then Aliens.
Yeah, half of these.
I love, yes. So I've actually seen Alien on the big screen twice.
Yeah, you have.
Once on my birthday this year when Patrick did a screening and a thing, and it was super fun. And then once a long time ago.
It wasn't. I mean, that's too many longs. It was in the 2000s.
Okay, in the 2000s. Yeah, like the early, whatever. So I saw it, and then I've seen it at, like on Blu-ray or whatever. So like, I love Alien, but had never seen Aliens. And I now love Aliens just as much. It was really, really, oh my gosh, I love how the aliens look. I love like the wet metal slime. Bleh. Oh, those little, what are those things called? Like the face huggers. Yeah. Oh my gosh, all of the face hugging and there's like fingers and they're like wet. All of it again. Yes. Oh, and they're so fast and they make noise. And
as Erica was watching the movie, she was sounding like Stallone and Cobra.
Yes, that was awesome.
It was way more fun watching it with you because you had never seen it and you react so vocally.
You might feel that way more than everybody else, but thanks.
No,
guys.
It's more fun listening to you.
I feel like every year there's one movie that do you do that like in the past? No, not on purpose. But what was it? There was another one that was
RoboCop. One year you were freaking out at the beginning when the guy got shot.
That was fun.
But yeah, no, Aliens was way more...
Okay. When they showed the alien queen actually laying an egg, you had this very visceral, audible reaction.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, same with when Bishop got torn in half.
Oh my gosh!
That was
Because it's just like it's
like,
so it happens.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
All
and
this
then
Alfredo spilled out.
half body saving. Yeah, I don't even.
Yep.
It was awesome.
Yep.
Love it.
Even half of Bishop is twice the man
Yes,
of Burke.
I know, right?
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
you said that right.
Gee,
So
Bishop
yes.
could be both of her two dads. Especially now that he's split in half.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, for me it was Invaders from Mars, just because again, so many people were either seeing it for the first time or seeing it in a way that they hadn't seen it before. I think because they were sort of extending me a courtesy, at least at the beginning, and like trying to be positive about it, which I appreciated. And so to see a bunch of people really have a good time with it was very rewarding, because I was concerned. I've watched the movie alone, and I will admit it has some rough spots and it has some slower spots, and that is sometimes death for a thing like this. So
it's
I was
all redeemed when Louise Fletcher eats the
frog. I was worried about all that,
my
but
gosh,
I think your
the
placement
frog.
of it was really just smart, because coming off of Labyrinth and Big Trouble in Little China, you're already in that mindset to go with the weirdness.
Right.
And that's one thing that kind of, because I remember when years ago we played Explorers.
Yeah.
I was very like put off by the second half of it.
Yeah.
And Invaders from Mars has a similar aesthetic. And this time, I don't know if it's just by knowing you and like learning more about Tobe Hooper over the years, or just the pattern of how the day went. I was all like, yeah, more gross.
Keep getting weirder.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways it's similar to Big Trouble in Little China and Labyrinth, actually, just in terms of like, I'm this person who enters this crazy world, and things are going to get weirder as I go. Sorry, I keep having to approve comments that have curses in them. It's asking me to approve them.
We approve.
Make Patrick's job easier. Don't swear.
Why is everyone
Keep
cursing?
it clean.
I didn't know that YouTube was gonna censor it like that.
I didn't either. But yeah, so that was, for me, I think the one that the most people discovered this year. I think the one that got the big festival bump was probably Big Trouble in Little China.
I think there's always that one that gets the F this movie bump.
That plays just really, really well. So that was awesome. Can you guys remember any like favorite tweets? Or Adam had an issue where his Twitter stopped.
Yeah, it was like early or...
You could post, but none of us would see them?
Right.
I could post, nobody would see it. They would see it on my regular feed outside of F This Movie Fest, or they could see it if I replied to one of their tweets.
Okay.
But Rob was great, and I tried to kind of cool off after like really going full throttle at him and like Cobra and was the Ferris Bueller. But yeah, no, thank you for posting my tweets for you, because this was like the second year in a row that happened.
I know how important it is that we hear. I mean, and some of us, Patrick and I and Eric are looking at the comments in the YouTube. I know a lot of people were talking about like missing out on Adam and wanting to have Adam, and just as someone who's a fan of Adam's tweets, I didn't want to deprive anybody else. But it was really funny because over the course of the day, it went from I think I sort of suggested I do it one time, like I'll tweet that for you, and I did it, and then it kind of became my job, where eventually Adam would be like, Rob, I got one for you.
I love that you had to deem like, is this worthy?
Right.
Yeah.
He would say something out loud to us in the room, and I'll be like, am I tweeting that? Is that a tweet? And he would be like, all right. Or I'm like, no, that's just for you.
Or he'd lean over and say, this is just for you.
But then by the time we got to Aliens, he was just texting me. I'm just,
I didn't even know that.
I'm sitting, I think because he didn't want to disturb the movie, because Aliens, it got quiet. Usually, the last movie usually gets quiet in here. And I didn't think he wanted to disturb anybody, so he's texting me. He's like, tweet this. I'm like, okay, buddy.
But I liked it better when Adam was just cracking us all up.
I know.
It felt like when you watch an interview and there's a translator, because it's like an English interview to like a different language. That's kind of how it felt throughout the day for me. So I'm sorry, everyone, that I wasn't tweeting where I tried.
I got all his best material down. It was all good.
Yeah, I will say, like, not to make people jealous, there's an element of us all getting together and then quietly sitting, because we're all on our phones or computers tweeting. But a lot of the biggest laughs happen for jokes that are just made in the room and never wind up on Twitter. So again, I say that not to rub it in anyone's face that you're not here.
That being said, though, I mean, we were laughing our asses off at some of the stuff.
Sure. Oh, absolutely.
It was, the interaction this year, as always, was
one of the highlights was Walter Matthau throughout the day. Contributions.
Yeah, during Labyrinth.
Yeah.
I made a joke about Hoggle being played by Walter Matthau, and then tried to do Walter Matthau for the first time.
Yeah, that was the first time.
That was my
his
first.
first,
Yeah, and then you just took requests like you were Bruce Springsteen, and we had like the poster boards in the audience.
And every once in a while I would say, what would it sound like if Walter Matthau was in
I
Ferris Bueller?
think it would sound a little something like this.
Life moves pretty fast.
The Jake the Snake stuff was awesome. The recurring.
Jesse Ventura.
Oh,
Please.
yeah.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
Please.
It's okay.
The governor, the former governor. I apologize.
It's okay.
I liked the running joke of Jennifer Connelly on the rocking horse, because what's not to like?
I didn't mean for it to be as pervy as it ended up being, but...
Oh, you didn't?
Well.
Oh, okay.
Not really. I mean, at first
Wasn't
I
that
guess
the
I
whole
said...
advertising campaign for career after
yeah, I
Yeah.
think
As
so.
opposed to Erica, who was taking pictures of the screen every time somebody kissed in a movie.
There are a few scenes that could have gone on longer. I was a little disappointed by the cutting off of.
By the way, the Bulls wanted you to run their kiss cam.
That's a dream job
I would
for
love
you.
to.
Yeah.
They could play Kiss in Time by
Oh
Kiss.
my gosh.
And then you could film people kissing.
This is dreams.
Because right now,
Balls.
Erica films people kissing without them knowing.
Oh, okay.
That
Like,
explains
that's
all
why-
those trips to Kissimmee.
Yeah. And those trips to jail.
Yeah. We have quite the impressive stack of restraining orders.
During one of the movies, two people on screen were kissing, and Rosie's reaction.
Oh, I know.
And I forget she's in first grade, so that's
right.
the reaction.
Ew, right.
But it was very cute.
Yeah, it was cute.
Our kids were down here for the first 4 movies, which worked out nicely. That like I had picked some movies that I knew were PG or PG-13, and deliberately scheduled them all in a row so that the kids could be here. And it was interesting because they were great. They handled it so well, and Charlie seemed to be into some of the movies.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, you could tell that Rosie was like, why isn't anyone paying attention to me? And so she would stand up in front of the screen and do shadow puppets or start dancing or just anything that was like, hey guys, I'm here. Why are you watching this movie?
As long as it wasn't kissing.
No,
I know,
gosh.
right.
Never.
Ew, ew.
Yeah, but they did pretty well.
Oh yeah, they
think
did
so.
great.
For
They
the most
did
part.
great.
Very
Yeah.
good.
And I think Charlie was disappointed when he couldn't stay and watch Cobra.
Oh my gosh, yeah. He was. I just tweeted a picture of during one of our breaks. Rosie made Josh and Mark watch her do many cartwheels. I'm sorry,
She's
and
really good.
she is
Really
pretty
good.
good
So
at it.
hot, yo.
And do you see her flip her hair at the end? I don't know if you noticed that. She does this, yeah. And then Charlie, though, was running around with his new Cobra gear and his Nerf gun, and he's really into it. That group picture we took, our kids look the most
Yeah,
badass
they
in
have
the
the
picture.
two best
I
faces.
know,
really
like
well.
what?
Should we?
They've never even seen anything like that.
Does somebody want to start an action franchise with our kids?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Called the Bromley Bump.
Okay. Oh, probably.
Bromley.
I don't know how that relates
Yes,
to law enforcement.
we will make
but,
it work. Okay,
Bromley
I'm
Bumps.
working on the
Bromley
screenplay
Bump.
right now.
The podcastables.
Not
I
bad.
need a workshop.
Not
Yeah.
bad.
And they were excited.
Congrats.
Actually, Charlie, I want to thank anyone out there who gave a little Charlie bump or a
Oh,
Rosie
that's
bump.
right. Yeah, those
So
were
Charlie
cute.
really wanted to tweet. Like, he wanted to take my phone and go on Twitter and tweet from my account. I was like, I don't know what that's going to look like, so no.
So he has an account.
yeah.
He has 2,000 followers.
Right, he's way more popular. No, but he doesn't have anything. He doesn't have, like, his own iPad or
There's a blue check
phone.
mark.
Well, yes.
My favorite
verified.
Charlie.
It's verified.
My favorite Charlie comment of the day was when he was just throwing massive shade at Paramount Pictures.
That was
We have to talk about this for a
Okay,
second.
yeah, no, please.
No, you should finish your thing.
The Paramount logo came
Yeah.
up, and
Or
he
Ferris
said,
Bueller, I think.
Paramount, Columbia's better. And then later he explained it.
Yeah, you did. It was very
What?
cogent.
I think I missed that. What did he
He
say?
explained-
Spider-Man Into the
Oh.
Spider-Verse was
He's
a Sony.
very loyal to Into the
Yeah.
Spider-Verse.
Yes, he is.
It's his favorite movie.
It's his favorite movie. Nothing's going to bump that for a long
Yeah,
time.
it was
I don't
really
think.
Captain Marvel came in second.
Yeah,
Yeah.
as of last night.
Yeah.
So we
Right.
saw
No,
Captain
right.
Marvel,
Mm,
and it
for
was his
Columbia.
second. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then his third is.
But anyway, he had fake
Yeah.
tweets.
He had fake tweets, so I let him write on the notes right on my iPad or something, and yeah, he made his little fake tweets, and one of them was so funny, phenomenal phenomenal, incredible, awesome
Somebody-
Yahoo or something,
Somebody
right?
crowned that as the new Do For It.
Yes.
Yeah. I think it was wait for it, do for it, do for it. I don't know if
Eric,
I'll
sing a song.
While you're looking
Yeah.
for that, yeah, Eric, I just want to point out we have Eric Asperschlager here, and he of course recorded that amazing
Oh my
FTMF
gosh.
86
thank you.
song.
Yes.
And you were talking about fake tweets, and I just want to bring up, this is from an old F This Movie Fest. There was a year where Eric couldn't participate on the day.
That was the first one.
It was the very first
Yeah, it was
one?
the very first one.
Wow.
We were away the first
2012.
one.
And you
1982.
like pre-programmed tweets to run during the movies.
Because I was that desperate to be part of it.
And
And here you are, man.
I'm basically like Rosie making shadow puppets. Except it's tweets.
What about me?
I don't remember the
Tweets
exact
and
wording,
songs.
but it was like,
Sing
you
your
guys think it's
song.
hard coming up with tweets during a movie. You should try coming up with them when you're not even watching it. It was really, it's one of the hardest I've ever laughed at an F This Movie Fest.
Oh.
So thank you for that.
Well, thank you. Welcome. Thank you.
And thank you. I want to say it's Chad Cooper, I think, and I see you there in the chat there, Chat Cooper. And I think maybe it was you who had the amazing Queen Takes Bishop joke
that
at the
makes
end of
sense.
Aliens,
Yeah.
which got a
That's
very
good.
everyone in the basement kind of went, oh, yeah,
That might be the
that's
single.
good.
That might be the single.
It's
best
pretty
tweet.
good.
Yeah.
Lots of love for Eric's song on here right now. I'm looking at the comments.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
And
nice.
Robin missed your performances between the movies.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah.
Being here means I don't
Right.
have to try as hard.
Yeah.
Normally,
Would it have killed you though? Try a little
normally I'm
harder.
home by myself, and I'm just like, make me relevant. I'm relevant. Look at me. Look at me. So, here I get to be ass.
What is the experience as someone who's
Yeah.
done it
Oh,
by
yeah,
himself?
first
at
time.
home?
First time
Someone who's
for
done it by
the
himself at
season
home and is
pro.
now
Yeah, I know.
Done it by yourself.
Okay.
Rob,
The student has become the
Oh my
master.
God. Rob wrote a really great
Hey,
piece
buddy,
about
watch
that.
that.
We need to like find that piece. His
No, it was-
experience.
You could just give him both. to me.
Yeah. Oh,
It was a lot of fun.
Oh, sorry.
No,
Go ahead.
no. Please, you're the old timer. Go for it.
No.
Wow.
Oh, no.
No.
Nope.
No. Okay.
We're fine.
Yes. Yeah. No.
Oh,
It's
your
been a
first
great trip. I mean, the actual experience of being here today for the thing, it was. I enjoyed having both the tweets to read and write, and also the all the in the room stuff made it even extra special. And if you can sneak in here somehow, I definitely recommend it. You can.
Please don't
But-
sneak in.
And
We
that'll
can
scare
invite
us
you,
in the night,
but yeah,
right?
No, I'm kidding. But yeah, it's
Someone
it's-
lives in our
it's
basement.
been it's been an amazing time. So
It's
far.
super fun having you guys both
Yeah.
here.
Did you like the Illuminatis?
Yes.
Good.
The Illuminatis.
Lu-
Yeah,
Kick
the
the
Illuminati.
That's what we call JD and Jay.
It's a pizza and a conspiracy. Did this happen to anyone else? Because
Yes.
I need. Then I don't need to talk about it. I need my glasses for the movie.
He needs
But
his glasses.
The tweets,
Oh, no.
tweets, the glasses come off. So it's on and off, on and off, on and off.
Okay.
And this is what sparked this. That as the day went on, if you read the tweet first and not who had delivered it, you got to the point where you knew who it was by the content of the tweet.
Wow.
The first person that happened to was you.
Okay.
If
you
I
tell the
read
lyrics?
what you wrote, I knew it was you.
Well, it was a
I
bad,
knew it was
yeah,
yours.
It's like
it was a bad
forensic
pun.
tweeting.
no. It wasn't always a bad pun.
It was
but
usually a pun of some sort.
that happened to an incredible degree this year.
Okay.
Speaking of pizza, I would love if
Pizza.
proof
Yeah.
of pizza came back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That should be a thing every
Proof
year.
of pizza.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, would be a
No,
thing
it should
every
be.
day.
Oh,
Yeah.
Are you saying proof of pizza should be a permanent part?
Yeah.
Hey.
Positively.
Positively. Nice.
That was
Perhaps.
the hardest window for me was between Ferris Bueller and Cobra. It seemed like a short turnaround, and that's when our pizza came, and I was trying to like tweet out pictures that we had taken, and there were gifts being handed out, and so then we're trying to open those, take pictures of those, tweet those out. The pizza's coming. I'm trying to inhale pizza, making sure that I get very stressed out anytime it's like we're starting a new movie because I'm afraid I'm going to like blow the start time and ruin it for everyone. So that was the one where I wish I had left more time, but on the whole, it was fine.
It worked out.
Yeah, no, it was
Yeah.
great.
And we
But
got
you
proof of
never
pizza.
know. You never know ahead of time what film is going to lend itself to the present. because now the present has become a thing.
Yeah, right. Now that's a thing, too.
Yeah.
Proof of present.
Erica had the tweet from Charlie, but now she has stepped away for just a moment.
I was just taking pictures of pizza scissors.
Oh, very nice.
Because that's really important to do right now.
There were...
Here we go.
Oh, so Charlie's tweet about this year's F This Movie Fest. Well, this is Miko repeating Charlie's thing.
Yeah.
He said, totally phenomenal, fantastic, super incredible, Yahoo.
And that was one of his, he had a few other tweets, but that's the one that I think people seem to like the most.
And then when I was tweeting, Rosie came over and said, I want to do it too. She climbed up into my lap and she said, now tell me when it's funny.
Wow.
But she just started, like, trying to shit-can Captain Marvel's box office, which I thought was so weird that she got on there and just right away was like, hashtag release the Snyder Cut. I was like, Rosie, are you serious? Yes. Like, what is this, Rosie?
She kept making, like, A-list reservations and then canceling them, and then when you were like, what are you doing? She's just like, go away!
These are Charlie's tweets?
These are Charlie's other tweets.
Thriller, and I couldn't do it.
And Charlie, he so desperately wanted them to be out there in the world. He wanted to, like, be a part of the community.
And what is this? This is Big Trouble in Little China?
Yeah.
All right, here are the tweets.
John wants to make sure he gets...
You could take his...
Oh, yeah, this movie is an action comedy.
It is.
That's erudite.
It is.
That's actually...
It is.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Well done.
I know, but that's like a...
This movie is 2 hours long.
That's like a Ben Lyons review.
Right.
This is an action comedy.
Great on the Ben Lyons curve.
These are-
already.
Yeah, no,
like-
listen.
Think of these as Charlie's notes, okay? He's
This
working
movie
it out. Yeah.
2008, Benjamin.
Somebody says your wardrobe game was on point.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
So, and it sure
Thank
was.
you.
That was a highlight. I love this movie.
That's what Charlie said.
comment?
Yeah.
Very well done with the unbelievable, super cool-eyed markers in the making.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, what is
There
that
might have
mean?
been a typo there.
It's kind of a thing.
Monsters.
Phenomenal,
I wonder-
fantastic, super incredible, Yahoo!
Yahoo.
And that's all, folks. 3 smiley faces.
Oh, sweet boy.
I like that he drops the mic at the end.
Yeah.
No, it's
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah.
That's all, folks. Now tell me when it's funny. I'm wearing my Cobra glasses, which means I'm not wearing my regular glasses, so I can't read any of the comments. I have to get right in front of it every time. Sorry if my voice just got...
Yeah.
I got a question for everybody. If you had to pick out one performance that's your favorite or one that kind of stood out to you out of all of the movies today, what would it be? Starting with you, Sir Josh.
All right. I guess I think Kurt Russell would be too easy, so I'm gonna try go.
Oh,
away
so
from...
I should pick something.
No, I think for me it would be like, oh,
You're just being lazy for picking Kurt Russell.
Yeah,
I understand.
way to-
Totally.
Preemptively
I
ruin
guess-
my pick.
I guess I saw this. I haven't seen Aliens in a while, and it was interesting to see Bill Paxton back on the screen because I think the last time I saw it, I didn't. He was just like a white guy to me,
Oh, okay.
and I didn't think.
I don't see soldiers.
Like
I see color.
Yeah.
And now watching it this time, that was like the thing that was like the biggest difference in like the second viewing of it.
Okay.
Is that I haven't seen him in such a long time.
Yeah.
And I think I just was nostalgic for him more than maybe even the performance, but it felt nice to kind of get more time with him.
Yeah.
Everyone in the comments is saying Wang. I think they're referring to Dennis Dunn.
Yeah.
Or they just love Wang.
Yeah.
Or David Bowie's.
I love that.
That is a
Part of
great
it.
supporting performance. More of a lead, really.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of support if I remember.
Oh, I'm glad I missed Labyrinth. Maybe. I like the small. I don't know. I'm just thinking about the smaller parts. I loved that, and I forget the name of the character, the secretary in Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Edie
McClurg,
yeah.
Who's channeling all of the Midwest, every stereotype of the Midwest if possible, right? Just with the nasally A.
Right.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
a righteous
Everything.
dude.
So, yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
She was incredible. That's great. It really sticks. She's just so funny. She's so funny, both of them. So that one stuck out to me.
I'm gonna go with I don't remember the actress's name, but the teacher in Invaders from Mars.
Louise Fletcher.
There you go. She's equally as nasty before and after she's taken over.
Right.
Before and after she gets
Sure.
the Marcellus
A performance
Wallace
without
But she
vanity.
finds
Yeah.
different ways to be nasty.
Yeah, absolutely, and she earns her. She's probably the most villainous villain we saw today.
More so than Brian Thompson.
I don't know. I'm not gonna think about it. I'm just gonna say it.
He just stood around
Yeah.
slapping axes together.
Slapping.
Which is what I was.
Coordinated.
Slapping axes.
Yeah.
The Brian Thompson story.
All together now.
Jan, how about you?
I had forgotten that Lorraine Newman was in Invaders from Mars, and I thought that she and Tim Bottoms were just like really good parents. Like they just played really good.
I'm making a face behind my Cobra glasses because
Yeah.
they were scary parents.
Yes, but
She means.
before,
Obviously, she means that.
right? But they were very.
I can't tell if you
believable.
understand. You're wearing your Cobra.
I don't
They were just very
understand, so, okay.
believable, loving, normal, goofy parents, like in a good way. And I thought they just both had fresh performances, which made it even more scary when they became the Indian
Right.
parents.
Right. Tragic.
You know what I thought was so interesting, and maybe this speaks more to my childhood. I can say this because he's not listening and has never listened. What's her name? No, David Gardner,
Yes.
Hunter Carson.
Has never listened to this.
When his he might,
keeps sending
He
it to
might.
me.
I think he might.
He never returns my call.
When I so related to when his dad gets taken over. He's kind of like, all right, dad's acting weird, putting Tic Tacs in his coffee and whatnot. When his mom gets taken over, it's so scary. It's so much worse. And I was like, yeah, that's exactly how I would have been.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is my kids wouldn't care if I got taken
That
over
is
by
not
aliens.
true at all.
They would be upset if
They
you were.
love you more.
They're quite used to how much salt you put on your raw hamburger at this point.
Charlie, like, Dad's watching Paramount Pictures again.
Oh, yeah, right. Well, now Charlie's disappointed.
He refuses to watch any of the Mission
Better get
Impossibles.
that What? Oh, forget it. Now I'm mad at Charlie.
We have a performance nomination for Walter Matthau, which I appreciate.
Okay.
I'd like to thank my agent and everyone else who was nominated.
I'll tell you one thing I did not expect coming out was that everyone has characters. And yesterday with Adam and Rob, I felt this intense pressure, entirely self-inflicted, to come up with a character, and I got nothing. So
Adam had Michael Caine, and Rob had David Lynch, and I had Walter Matthau.
That's good.
I was working on Jaws from Jaws 4, but it never came
Yeah.
J Bones, your performance.
For a brief second, I thought about trying to do a Jack Lemmon and thought better of it.
I don't know how you would.
Yeah, how do you even do it, Jack?
What is his
Would you do like a Shelley Levine?
identifying-
Do it now, live.
No, because you'd never know what's going to come out. Remember the year that everyone was doing Schwarzenegger?
Yes.
And I got 3 words out of my mouth, and it was like, oh, no, that doesn't.
That is not cool.
I would say Sigourney Weaver in
Oh,
Aliens, and beyond that, the entire ensemble of that movie, the way they play together, it's like they had a lot of rehearsal or something. The relationships are real. A lot of people were tweeting about Paxton and how his performance is actually very realistic to the way one might react if they were in that situation. But obviously Paul Reiser too, because he's just one of the greatest slime balls, and everyone was responding to that too. But half of that is, and Cameron gets criticized for this, Burke is written really well. That's just that corporate, it was a bad call.
He doesn't think that he's a slime ball.
No.
Really? I mean...
Because slime balls don't.
Right.
Yeah.
Beau?
Sigourney Weaver, I mean, it's obvious and everybody loves her, so it's not like I'm saying anything new and exciting, but like I just was watching her thinking, God, she was like so strong and confident and badass. I mean, I know the character's written that way, but like I can't imagine anyone else playing it, you know?
Do you feel like she's playing it differently than since we just saw Alien like a month and a half ago?
Right.
Do you feel like she's playing a different Ripley in this movie than she did in the first movie?
There's something like softer about her performance, actually, and I think I was reading in the comments that the director's cut has a very different plot point that is not in the theatrical cut.
That she had a daughter who aged and died while she was in 57 years of cryo sleep.
Right.
Yeah.
So I was just learning that, but so there was something like softer about it.
Okay.
In those but I think it's because again in the moments with the little girl. So
Right.
it made sense for her. But
Right.
she's perfect. She just plays everything perfectly, like exactly as you'd want her.
And who beat her for the Oscar that year?
Oh, I'm so excited that she was
86.
nominated for that.
I know
though,
that
right?
never happens.
No, because her getting nominated for that made me think about Toni Collette this year. Like, come on,
Right.
Yeah,
I have no idea who.
But who won?
Ah.
In '86?
Mark.
Mark.
It was probably like a
Google.
Vanessa Redgrave or like one of those '86 movies that I was like, I'm not going to see that.
We haven't talked about that at all
Right,
this week.
yeah,
Haven't watched it.
Not
Like
the
all
kind
the
of
movies
stuff
that have been
we were
discussed or watched
celebrating,
this week.
unfortunately.
No. And so many.
Mine, I guess, is a no-brainer. There were a lot of good ones, but I'll go with Charlie Sheen in Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Yes.
Because he just is so funny in that movie and just comes in. And Jennifer Grey was getting a ton of love in the comments. People were really, really digging her character and her performance, which I don't disagree with. But when Charlie Sheen shows up, and again, he was famous enough to me as whatever I was, an 8 or 9-year-old, that when he showed up, I was like, oh, I recognize him. He's just like, he's a famous actor that's just showing up for this part. Like
Right.
it was maybe one of the first examples I understood of like a cameo. Right. And Erica got this great sweatshirt for her Ferris Bueller shirt, and it says Adams and Adler and Anderson and Bueller and Bueller and Bueller and Bueller. There was a different shirt that I really wanted her to get, and I know she couldn't. But it was just Charlie Sheen's face from that scene, and underneath it just says "drugs?" And it's an amazing shirt.
It's really great. I wanted it, but I thought like I can't wear it to work.
The drugs shirt?
I work at a high school.
It's very easy to imagine that Charlie Sheen in Ferris Bueller is playing the same character that he would play in Major League, but just younger. And he continued. He continued to go to prison. He got a different hairstyle, but multiverse. Do you dig on multiverse?
I did. Lindsay Wilkins has an answer. It was Geraldine Page for
that's the previous year.
Nope.
The 1987 Academy Awards, the Best Actress winner was Marlee Matlin for Children of
Oh, that is correct. Yes.
Okay.
Children of a Lesser God, Marlee, which I've never seen.
Okay.
I should have programmed it. I feel like it would have played.
Do we own it?
We don't.
It's a pretty stacked category for that year, actually.
Who else was up?
Marlee Matlin, Jane Fonda, Sissy Spacek, Kathleen Turner, and then Sigourney Weaver. So it's
Kathleen Turner for Peggy Sue?
Yep.
Interesting. No Gina Davis for The Fly. So
Oh
I
my gosh,
disqualify
she's
it all.
so
She's
lovely.
amazing. Any movies that you would have liked to have seen programmed? Don't complain about the programming.
I have one.
Okay.
I'm not complaining.
Okay.
And I mentioned
He
this.
just wants 7 movies next year.
I got.
I was ready.
Because I wrote about it this week, and watching it again and writing it about it, it really seemed as if Something Wild would have been a good choice and would have actually fit into the lineup this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Adam and I both watched that for the first time
this week.
This past week.
Yeah.
Something Wild got
Something
a lot
Wild?
of love
What'd you
this
think?
week.
Oh, it was really.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bring. I didn't mean to bring you into this. I'm sorry. Yeah. No, I thought it was great. I thought it was.
Ebert's like, this is what Siskel thought.
I'm so used to leaning on you, buddy. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
No, I thought it was great. I really. I mean, Silence of the Lambs is one of my favorite movies. I love Jonathan Demme, and so and I'm game for anything Demme, but I really liked what he was doing with the flip halfway through,
And without spoiling it,
Yeah.
and I mentioned this, people walked out.
Yeah, see, that's crazy.
I'm here for what they promised me in the commercial.
And it really, as somebody who grew up with Jeff Daniels primarily as the guy in Dumb and Dumber, like I've really gotten I've gotten to see him do dramatic work, and then see some of more of like the more of the wry sort of comedy, like he's playing this kind of yuppie in Something Wild, and
we got to see him live. They're about to see him.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, it's Phil Mockingbird.
Incredible stage actor.
Yeah.
I can't even believe it.
But and then Melanie Griffith is just like adorable.
Yeah, that's her.
Yeah.
She's just
her
incredible.
best.
Is there any question?
I'm excited to watch it
I
again.
really like
I'm
her
really
movie
excited to watch it
Oh
again.
yeah.
And a killer soundtrack.
Oh, great soundtrack.
Yeah, I love how much love Something Wild got this week just in...
Mike and Lexi, you guys watching it, we watched it.
Yeah.
Doug and I talked about it on the podcast.
Yeah.
You
was all of
watched
it.
it again this week?
We did.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. And we mentioned it in our. Did we mention it? No, we didn't.
We didn't.
We didn't.
Because
but I
it was
mentioned
already
it
being covered.
in
You
the music.
mentioned it in the music
Yeah.
because,
Yeah.
of course, it's got a killer soundtrack.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think another '86 movie that I love is Hoosiers.
Oh.
Just
Doug will be
because
happy that you said that.
Josh and I were talking about. One of my weird pet peeves is that I hate it when sports movies misrepresent the sport. Where like it's a baseball movie, but then clearly no one knows how to play baseball in the movie, which is aggravating to me.
That's how I felt when I watched Ready to Rumble.
Yeah.
There's a lot of baseball movies like that.
Yeah. But Hoosiers is one of those basketball movies. Well, one, it's kind of like loaded in terms of like it's Gene Hackman and it's Dennis Hopper, but then also like the basketball is like it's a basketball. Like it's actually like it's not just actors just running around. It's like, oh, those people have shot a basketball before, like they've held one, and so that's one of my '86 favorites as well.
My choice would be Running Scared because I just think that's so much fun. And
that was the 7th choice, by the way.
Yeah, I just
let's do it. Let's put it in now.
No, that's just the type of movie that I want more people to discover. Like I discovered at I think it was your birthday. You programmed it, and it's it's just so much fun.
So good.
Yeah.
So that was in the original lineup, and it had to come out because it was another. I would have programmed it as a Discovery.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, we already have Invaders from Mars filling that spot. I can't do 2 Discoveries. I can't take it if people don't like this movie. So.
Oh, and can I do a real quick call out for the favorite performance thing? Because I did get my turn for that. I'm sorry.
What the heck? Oh, because you asked the question.
Yeah, I know. I thought I was going to get a turn. I'm sorry. All right. So Jennifer Connelly has won an Oscar, and she's known
deserved.
And she's known to be a good actress. And I was thinking in Labyrinth, I'm like, maybe she's making a choice to be a girl interrupted. It's like not so much like that it's like a weird performance. It's like, oh, okay, she's nuts, and this is her descent into madness. So like that's how I prefer to read Labyrinth, and I like it on those terms. Yeah.
My favorite is the little girl on the bus at the end of Ferris Bueller.
When we were watching it, Patrick had mentioned his love for her line.
Yeah.
And it was like, I thought I was the only person on earth. Just something so disgusting and specific. What does she say?
They're real warm and soft.
They're real warm and soft. I was reading Erica's column this week about music and watched the Sweet Freedom video again. And I think that was the first time I had ever seen a music video, for lack of a better word, of celebrities fucking around. Like that thing for When the Going Gets Tough.
Oh, yes.
Where the 3 of them are supposedly, and then You Can Call Me Al with Chevy Chase and Paul Simon. That's a whole genre. But I think maybe the Michael McDonald video does it the best.
Oh my gosh, it's so fun. It's so great.
I thought throughout like the whole run of the movies today, there was a lot of great movies where it was like they had a case of the fuck around. And I would love to do like a screen page watching it comparison where I'm like, what was on the page and how did it get to this? Because it was just really neat how all that happened. It seemed very improvisational and like, let's kind of throw things out and try them.
During the day, I don't think it was always the same person, but there were at least 2 people giving trivia tidbits that weren't true. That clearly
Mike Delaney was one.
They had just made up. Yes. And the one for Aliens was when Ripley's in the power loader and she's fighting the Queen, someone tweeted, "This wasn't scripted."
Oh, I remember this.
It was an improv when the alien special effect went berserk. Sigourney Weaver just went with it.
She just had to take over.
That's amazing.
And then EM, I think the initials are?
Yeah.
He posted the craziest thing. I just kept reading it over and over, and it's like, that can't be true. And I wish I could remember what it was. And it wasn't the power loader. It was like, what? By the way, I encourage this. In the future, like Proof of Pizza, the made-up trivia tidbit,
Yes.
I think that should be an important part of this movie fest.
Yeah.
I sort of throw like a lot because we're reading the comments and a lot of people were sort of talking about The Fly as a possible movie. And I was trying to think about The Fly because that's what I thought. When you said 86, I was like, okay, well, The Fly is going to close it out. But then I was thinking of it, and I don't know if this was your thought process, but like, it's Fly or Aliens. One of them is going to close out the night because you're going to be so exhausted by the end of one of them. I think you went with the right call. I think Aliens was the right call, definitely, because it's a bit more of a crowd pleaser. But I was thinking about that in terms of programming. Like we always have it at some point in this show every year. We talk about how Patrick knows what he's doing, and I'm wondering, and it's a great lineup. And I'm wondering like if that was at all like was The Fly ever on the table, and you kind of thought like. Was the thought process like that at all?
It's one of my favorite movies from that year, but I don't know that I ever really considered it for something like this. Okay. I think it's a little too heavy and too sad.
Yeah, because you're so exhausted at the end of The Fly.
It's like such a bummer. It's such a great movie, but it's such a bummer that it's like, how are we going to tweet jokes through this? Right. You know?
Can I represent?
I also thought it was really smart to go with the theatrical cut of Aliens.
Thank you.
Yep.
You know what you're doing.
I agree.
Can I represent Doug right now? I am Doug.
You got it.
I am Omar Speck.
You're the movie guy.
I'm not the movie guy, Doug.
The movie guy with
LA
Doug.
Doug.
Schultz. Host of Neatness.
Neatness Boys. And what was the other one? Your new podcast?
A Joe Dante podcast.
Oh my gosh, that was so funny. If you did not get a chance to listen to Patrick and Doug talk this week about their favorite A6 movies on the podcast, go back and listen to it. It's really funny. I'm Doug. I think Top Gun would have played really well.
Hey, easy. Top Gun would have played well.
It would have played well.
It would have.
Yes.
I just don't really like it.
No, I know.
I
You
usually
well,
like
you
to program
like,
movies
hate
I like.
it.
No, I mean, I'm not really a fan.
Go back and
So
find the Top Gun podcast that
The best.
Doug and Patrick recorded so long ago.
There's a podcast on Top Gun.
Yes.
There's a shitting on the classics on Top Gun that's not in the index.
Oh, sorry.
Oh.
And every so often,
he missed a few by accident.
Someone.
Paywall.
In fact, Patrick made me aware of this, that there's people who will just randomly Google something they love to see if, right? Because all of you, I think, have experienced this. Something you wrote quite a while ago suddenly gets a comment.
Absolutely.
It's usually a bot, though.
Yeah. Hold on, it's on the... English Patient.
Yeah.
About every 6 months, someone and gets really mad.
Back. Oh
it's
my gosh.
usually Rosie. I'm telling you, as soon as she got that Twitter account,
like
someone commented.
Johnny is giving a serious misread to this film.
Johnny.
Someone commented, "You cannot understand anything about film if you don't love this one."
Oh wow!
And the Top Gun one,
UHF.
every 6 months.
Yeah.
Every 6 months, Top Gun either gets "You're all wet" or "Finally someone who agrees with me." So Top Gun is polarizing.
Yes.
One of my favorite bot comments on one of my columns this year was I texted you guys. It was like. Many films have such scenes.
Yeah,
and I was like, that's actually really profound.
You know what? That's true. Yeah,
this is an action
we
comedy.
love it when real people, real listeners and readers comment, but we know it's like hard to always do that. But we love it when you do because when it's a bot, it's just so you go in, you're like, oh, they're selling something, or it makes no sense, so it's so disappointing.
Oh,
yeah,
robot.
Yeah,
I thought you meant me.
Bot! It's bot. So
my favorite bot comment, and I'm sitting here.
I wish John would comment on my pieces.
Many movies have such scenes. I don't remember.
That sounds like me.
That doesn't sound like me.
I'm surprised by none of this.
Wait, hold on.
Because believe it or not, if I like something or disagree with it, I usually send an email instead of comment.
By the way, robot is what I said 45 minutes into Cobra.
I was just going to say, can we talk about the robot photo shoot? Is that
Let's talk about the robot photo shoot, because we still have to
start?
play photo shoot.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm all
Wait, are we doing that tonight with everyone?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm not into that.
That's taking it.
Ever, you guys.
I have to change my outfit.
At all.
Yeah, so,
I don't know why there's a photo shoot with a robot in Cobra.
Well, I mean,
because it's awesome.
I guess if it had been in there, but maybe like a little shorter.
My guess
I don't
is
know.
the filmmakers had access to whatever that was. Art instance, a friend of some, and
production value.
Exactly.
Free robots.
I think it was because it was shorter than Stallone, and he was like, "Yeah, all right, it's shorter than me. Take a picture next to it."
I like you doing this voice with those sunglasses on.
Well, yeah.
He's in character.
My Cobra.
That was
shades.
the one tweet that I couldn't decide whether to press send because I wasn't sure if it was in good taste. Can I talk about this? Because now we're on the YouTube.
Well,
yeah, we're
still,
recording it.
It's
post,
right. People are listening and they will hear it. So just
less permanent.
It's forever.
When he gets in bed with Nielsen.
Yeah.
Now I'm not sure.
Oh.
I was
I'm leaving the room.
Robot.
I was going to tweet "Cradle the Balls."
Oh.
Because there was a famous incident where Stallone was wired with a mic on a set, and they said take 5, and he went into his trailer, and there was someone else in there, and everyone could hear what he was saying, and someone released the tape, and he famously instructs his partner to cradle the balls.
Oh, okay. That's...
But now I realize you have no idea what I'm talking about, so no one would have gotten it.
But you're always
the
welcome.
Subtitle for Rambo 5.
And you're always welcome to talk about balls here, John.
So next year, that's going to be my only tweet.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll say, Rob, tweet out "Cradle the Balls."
That's Rob.
That's the title of Eric's song for next up this movie.
Cradle the Balls.
Don't try to control my art, man.
Or you could make it like an early 2000s action movie, Cradle to the Balls.
To the balls.
Would that go straight to video? Would that be like...
No, that plays...
Yeah.
Okay.
It might be on a Red Balls.
Okay.
It's important.
Better than blue?
It's important to note that many
BOD. Balls on demand.
That's a different service.
Yeah.
Many of us are in various stages of Cobra dress, and Jan is wearing her gloves and her Cobra sunglasses on top of her regular glasses.
Yes.
And she's
It's
sitting
the best.
backwards in her chair.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
You need a picture of
She
that.
has no respect for authority.
Yes.
Crime is the disease.
Yeah.
My wife is the cure.
Jan.
That's right.
So violent.
Yes.
I'm sorry, she's writing something down. Cradle the balls. Got it. Okay.
And
Anything else? Any final words? We should get out of here. It's late. People need to go to sleep.
I'm ready for another movie.
Okay.
Cobra again.
guys are
We're
making a little later,
gonna
apparently.
lose an hour.
Oh, I know.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we
Yeah,
also
time
this
change.
was not a great day for us to schedule
Oh my
this.
gosh.
I didn't realize when we scheduled it that we
Right.
go
fine.
forward in time. That's what they call it, right? We go forward in time.
Have a life.
Daylight, go forward in time.
As Huey Lewis
Fall
famously
back.
sang about.
Spring
Forward
forward.
in time.
Gotta
Because there are
go
no windows
forward
down here. We
in
don't know
time.
what's going on.
Oh gosh, I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, did everybody like the food today? Like the snacks
Yeah.
and the stuff?
Yes.
Okay.
Sadly, no one got any. We had gummy cobras for the movie
Oh my
Cobra, but by the
gosh.
time we got to Cobra, I discovered they were all eaten. 2 bags of gummy worms.
Yeah.
Mostly by Rosie Brown.
Like a 6-year-old
Which is
child.
why she was just like
She's like-
furiously tweeting on
She's
such
so
a sugar high.
like cute and petite too. I don't know where those gummy worms went. She ate so
Yeah, it's
many
more-
gummy
it's
worms.
bigger
It's
than her
not.
small body.
It's not
can
healthy.
hold.
And I blame
It's
myself because I watched the whole thing happen.
Uncle Johnny doesn't stop her.
And every time she did, I said, "Are you a baby bird?" And she said, "Yes," and took 2 more.
Yeah.
Oh.
And she
Sorry.
did that 100 times.
She can eat her weight in gummy candy.
It's
Apparently.
incredible.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
But yes, any other favorite snacks of the day?
Lose.
Pizza. I know.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
pizza was a
Thanks,
big
pizza,
hit.
pizza,
Sadly,
pizza,
I had
pizza.
to inhale it, but it was good.
Yeah.
I like the river of coffee at the beginning of the morning. I didn't
Yeah.
drink any of it, but it
Oh,
was
yeah,
fun to
we
look
had
at.
Like the river
Donuts.
running across the counter.
Yeah,
I'm talking
it
about?
was fun to look
Oh.
at.
Did I miss that?
The Zen Party mix.
Yeah. It was cinematic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Set the tone.
We're going
And thanks
Yeah.
to Jan for all the signs for our snacks.
Yes.
Thank
She
you.
wrote the signs.
Those were a highlight of the Oscar parties. I was glad to see those come back.
I know.
Thank you,
Yeah,
I
it's
Ed.
really
know.
fun.
I love movie themed food.
Mm-hmm.
And Jan was like good at that before it was a thing. Like Jan's been doing that before Pinterest, before the
Oh.
internet, you know.
Yeah,
That-
it's just my
You're
weird.
good.
It's the extra pair of
Like your
glasses.
cool creativity?
I
Yeah.
wish that was a marketable skill,
Be surprised.
but
It is.
it is not.
You get exposure.
Anyway, we know everybody's got to go to sleep, so thank you for another successful F This Movie Fest, everyone. Thank you to everyone in this room. Thanks to everyone who participated today. Thanks everyone who stayed up late and is taking part in this broadcast. We'll put it out as a podcast on Wednesday, but every year, obviously, it's really, really fun to do, and everyone's saying how much they look forward to it and how much they enjoy it. Really makes it worth it. So thank you, everybody.
Yeah, and thanks to some of our regulars who couldn't be here, and they were like checking in and kind of tweeting, which was fun just to say hi or whatever.
Yeah.
So thanks.
And thanks to Patrick Bromley for inviting
Yes!
a holiday and inviting us.
This is our Super Bowl. Movie Christmas. So it's really
Movie
fun.
Christmas.
This is the real St. Patrick's Day.
Oh.
This is the real March Madness.
Anyway, thank you guys very much. Have a great night. Happy 1986. Happy F This Movie Fest, everyone. Love to everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Movie love for movie lovers.
Thank you.